Hello, my name's Andy, I'm the Ginger Gamer. Welcome to episode 32. And as you can see in this episode, I'm going to take a look at the January 2024 dev diary from the Prehistoric KIngdom developers. And it's pretty exciting, as you may have already seen from other content creators. It's a good one. I'm not 100% happy for reasons I'll say, and that's no criticism for the developers. It's just me and my little preferences and a strange reaction I had to one thing, which I will show you in a minute. Anyway, let's scroll through and start. So, Happy New Year, everyone. We hope you all had a lovely holiday season with plenty of gifts and giving to go around. This blog post will be focused on what's to come in 2024. Looking at the upcoming update 10, as well as some rather exciting additions coming throughout the year. Let's jump right into it. So, state of development. Last month in December, they released update 9, which had lots of additions and lots of really cool things. And they'd started in that update and update 8 to lay the groundworks for more organic behavior and movement systems, as they say, overhauled locomotion and brain systems. So they're going to continue that throughout the year with AI behaviors and animations, and that's kind of what they're showing in this little video clip, is the way in which they interact and move around each other. As a start, they say, we've been tackling a long-standing community request, animal avoidance, borrowing much of the technology currently used on guests. Now, if you've seen my video about guests, and I have to repeat myself, know that it's partly some of my map issues. Guests aren't perfect yet. It's an early access game, early development, no criticism. Their goal is to give the animals a similar implementation, dynamically pathing around any incoming creatures in a nice and performant way. So that's the kind of progress they've got up to, and they're doing hopefully less clipping through each other, which is something they do at times, and it's very hard in video games, especially when there's lots of different creatures or things within the game that the AI has to control to completely stop that. But I think if you look in this, it's looking pretty good, because obviously time's being sped up there, and yes, it's on a loop, but there doesn't seem to be a lot of kind of clipping. They seem to be avoiding each other quite well, so that's great. So as I say, once update 10 releases, players will be able to see a dramatic decrease on animals walking directly through the middle of each other. There'll be still some clipping with heads and tails, and as it says, and I said earlier, it's really hard to get rid of that, especially with larger animals and stuff, but it does look like a great improvement, so I'm really pleased. So update 10 coming soon. In mid to late February, players will be able to explore the frozen wilds of the Canadian Rockies. More on that from me in update later on in this video. In update 10, building your part of a brand new modular theme and resurrecting extinct animal species straight out of the Ice Age. So, on to new species. The Elasmotherium, I think that's how you pronounce it. It does look really cute, doesn't it? It does look really good, like all the models. Just excellent design, just really good design, and as we know, there's some really excellent movement in the way they retain quite a natural shape even for animals that we're not quite used to, and it does look really good, and these look really promising. And the Cynotherium or Cynotherium as well, which is another rhinoceros type animal, this time without fur, which again looks really good. And there's also going to be 2 species of cave lions, which, again, you can't have too many big cats. I will save my point for a little bit. The Stone Age theme is one of those things that sometimes developers release either as DLC or free updates, or in this case, because it's still an early access game, that you think you didn't know you wanted until they released it. And now, actually, I think it looks excellent. I think that is really good. And there's a little mini Stonehenge over there. No, I think that's a brilliant addition. As I say, not something I knew I wanted or needed until I realised it was there. Now, these fences are interesting. I was going to make a fence like that when I was first making my Prehistoric KIngdom Prehistoric Canada map. I was going to make fences like this. In the end, I kind of adapted the glass fencing and then used some posts to kind of create a frame to it. But I started off trying to make fences pretty much like this actually. But because most of the log modular pieces were very, very similar, it looked too uniform. But this obviously actually works a lot better because it doesn't look uniform at all. I can't imagine they're super strong. Like a very valid criticism of the fences I put in Prehistoric Canada, any self-respecting dinosaur who wanted to break out could break out. And yeah, and that's nice. I really like that kind of rock fencing that's got a glass insert. I think that's really good. I'm very excited about using them, and I will be using them. And nearing on to something I'm a little sad about, and not because I don't want this in the game, but because it's come a bit late for me really, in that they've got a Canada biome, I guess you'd call it, a new map that's Canada. Now, as you may well know, I made a Prehistoric Canada map, and this would obviously be the biome and the map I would have used for that map. And since I've kind of I worked my way through this devlog, I kind of thought, oh, could I somehow transfer the Prehistoric Canada park into this map in some easy and simple way? And I just don't think there is a way, especially because so much of the Prehistoric Canada map isn't modular pieces, it's terrain deformation and terrain work, that porting it over, as it were, to the new map would be pretty much impossible without pretty much remaking the whole map. So yeah, I'm really pleased. I will probably be using this as the base map for most of my sandbox maps moving forward. I think it looks beautiful, and I'm really glad they've made it. I just wish they made it 6 months ago. And it's great. It's got the Borealis as well, and it just would be fantastic. I think that's brilliant. Right, so on to the future. Update 10 is looking pretty cool, but what does the year look for the game? Some few major pillars that are in development behind the scenes, and our aim is to deliver them throughout 2024. As these pillars are quite the undertaking, we'll continue to release more art-centric updates, like Update 10, to help prevent content droughts while we work on them in the background, which I think is a reflection on the gap between, I think it was Update 7 and Update 8. But because they were doing some really intrinsic, really detailed work, they wanted to get that done before releasing some of the more art-centric stuff. And I think maybe, and that's what they say. Number of months last year when the game did not receive support while they were developing Update 8. And that's something they don't want to repeat. I personally didn't mind, but I really appreciate them thinking about the fans and people who own the game. So staff and logistics. There's a lot of work they're doing with staff. Currently, there isn't staff as I think about it. So when guests go up to cafes and things like that, there aren't really staff serving them. So they're going to start to introduce staff into the game. We're interested to see how that works. I think that's a really good thing. I'm not going to go through all of that. But yeah, staff is definitely something that in an actual part you're going to need, and I guess when you're thinking about campaign, that's going to be even more of an issue. I tend to play in sandbox with unlimited cache, so it'll be less of a thing to manage really. But I think it's really interesting, and it'll be great to see how they get on with it. So this is the next bit. Now I'm going to mispronounce Ontenergy. It's basically they're going to have different ages of animals. So there's going to be babies, and then adolescents, and then the adults, and it looks really, really good because, as they say in all of this, they're not going to just have smaller versions. They're going to have distinct shapes, as animals do as they grow. They're not, a baby tiger isn't just a mini tiger. So that looks excellent. Now, as you know, in my last map, Prehistoric Canada, I actually had a breeding enclosure which was for velociraptors. And it'll be really cool if as many of the animals possible have that, because it'll be really nice to, you know, design enclosures and design the parks around breeding and around younger animals, a bit like what happens in Planet Zoo. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I think that's amazing. It looks really, really good. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Right, update 12. Look at update 12, and there's another new species, which is Apatosaurus, which again looks great. You can't have too many of the larger dinosaurs, so I'm pretty happy with that. Now, this is technically one of the things I'm not critical of the devs about, but I'm sad about, because I really want Stegosaurus in the game, and I'm delighted they're bringing more mammals into the game, and they're bringing Apatosaurus. It looks like an excellent addition, but I really, really want Stegosaurus in the game. I think it's probably my tied favourite dinosaur with Triceratops and T-Rex, and I am quite sad it's not in the game. But hopefully it will be in the future. And they kind of finish their devlog with a little bit of 10 years of prehistory, and that's how long they've been working on. The Prehistoric Kingdom has existed for. And as they say, it was slow to start and they're getting there. But they don't move as quickly as larger development studios. And I think most of their fans, and certainly I, really appreciate that fact. And I think they're doing an amazing job. And this game is just getting better and better. And I'm certainly, although I've slowed up my playing it, I did a bit of Quake on the channel. I'm currently doing Hogwarts Legacy, although that's mainly editing. I've done the playing to a greater extent, and I'm back into Prehistoric Kingdom. It's certainly a game I'm gonna play a lot through 2024, and hopefully create some good maps. Now, Community Spotlight. I love this. I think this is a really good thing to put in the devlog. I'm really sad I haven't got in it. I don't mean that in a really arrogant way. I don't think my work is good enough to make me feel like I should be entitled to get in it. I don't think that at all. But I'd love to be in it. It would be really exciting. But yeah, there's a devlog. It looks great. We're getting babies. We're getting new species. We're getting the Canada map. We're getting stuff through the year. And like I say, the Stone Age theme, the thing you didn't know you needed, but you definitely do now. And I think there's probably some stuff. Sorry, I'm whizzing through here in a very bad way. We'll leave it on this Assassin's Bino map, who does some great work, and as is shown in this screenshot. But yeah, I reckon there's some stuff they haven't told us as well, and I'm not going to speculate because I have no knowledge. But I really hope I'm right as well, and there'll be some great spotlight. So anyway, thank you for joining in for this little look at the development log for January 2024, the dev diary. As I said, I'm still working on my Prehistoric Sanctuary map. It's quite a difficult map. It doesn't go as quickly as, say, a map that just has specific areas and enclosures, and even my Prehistoric City map where it had streets. It's a lot more difficult than that because I'm trying to combine different natural areas together and make it work. And I have been working on it. I must admit I did do maybe 3 or 4 hours work that I've scrapped because it just wasn't working. So that's what I'm saying. It is difficult, but I think it's definitely going to be worth it. And I will show you what I've done as soon as it's in a state that I want to show you. So I am working on it. I'd like to thank everyone who tunes into especially my Prehistoric Kingdom videos, which do better than my Hogwarts and Quake videos. And thank you very much for that. I guess that's what my channel is mainly about, is Prehistoric Kingdom at the moment. But I will always be playing other games as well and sticking them on there, however much they may not get the views. I like doing it. Both playing the games and making the videos, so I'll keep churning them out. But thank you very much for your support around my Prehistoric Kingdom videos. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I know I've had a slightly longer break than normal, but I'm still churning out those videos, and there'll be lots of content through 2024. So yeah, please like, please comment, please subscribe, and I will see you next time.